Hi, Andrew from Chemtools here. This morning we're going to be doing an experiment with our nickel anti-seize, Revive It R28. Now this is our premium grade anti-seize, and this particular one has a melting point of 1285 degrees C, which is a very, very high melting point. It's important when you're using stainless steel bolts to prevent galling, especially in high temperature situations. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be dipping our bolt and getting a chunk of grease on the end of it. Like that. I'm going to be putting it in a vise, and I'm using a propane torch to expose it to very high temperatures. Now when you do this sort of experiment, you should keep the lighter out of the way due to flammable issues. Now as you can see, I'm getting the bolt nice and hot. Now what this experiment's duplicating is the bolt in hot operation, and you'll see that no grease is migrating down the threads of the bolt, which means it stays in place. This will ensure that the carrier of the nickel does not run away and leave your bolts frozen. The bolt will stay unfrozen and easy to remove. I'll just remove the heat source. As you can see, the product is still in one place. It hasn't run down the actual threads. I won't actually touch it with my fingers because it's very hot. Chemtools Nickel Anti-Seize, Revive It R28, another premium Chemtools product. Hi, back again. Now this time we have our R29 copper anti-seize. This is our other premium grade product which contains copper. This one's rated up to 985 degrees C. It's not recommended for stainless steel, but it's recommended for like brass, normal steel and other materials. This one, again, we'll do the same sort of test. We'll dip the bolt in. Make sure there's a nice little chunk of anti-seize on there. Put it into the vise. Get our heat source going. As with the last one, you don't want the grease to run down the threads, you want it to stay in the one place. People say to me, so where do the bolts possibly get this hot? I would say industrial furnaces, steelworks, anything where you're generating a lot of heat and you don't want things to stick together. I'll remove the heat source. As you can see with this one, the grease has not run down the threads, it's still all in the same place that I put it in. Chemtools Copper Anti-Seize R29. Okay, we're back again now, and we have our premium grade silver anti-seize, which is our R47 product. This is primarily designed where you have two different types of metal put together in soft metals. It has a melting point of 871 degrees C, and again the test is going to be the same. We're going to dunk the bolt in, get a chunk of it on top. I'd add a bit more to that with the brush, I think. More generous. Again, we'll give it the torture test. Now when you're using different metals, you can still get galling like stainless steel, and they'll bind, especially brass. So again, this is a premium grade product to prevent that. As per the last two videos with the nickel and the copper, you'll notice that the grease is not running away, it's staying in place, which means the carrier for the silver anti-seize will stay there, which means it will do its job. I'll remove the heat source. And as you can see, it hasn't run down the threads, it's still intact. Chemtools R47 silver grade anti-seize. Okay, back again. This time we're trialling R06, which is the graphite anti-seize. Now this one's designed for spark plugs, bolts and things like that. It's a very smooth anti-seize, this one, and has extremely high temperature properties. Again, we dunk the bolt. Get a nice chunk of it on there. And in the vise. Now I've actually used this personally on a Queensland locomotive that was being serviced up at Lithgow. They used it to stop the back of the brake pads binding in the caliper. I'll remove the heat source. As you can see, the grease is still where it was when we started the experiment. So this is graphite anti-seize, another premium Chemtools product, the R06.